Tried all the rest? Learn from the best. Join WDGLC.com today.
Hey there everybody, it's Wayne Defrancesco. Welcome to WayneDefrancesco.com. Hope you're on the club site. Got a lot of nice stuff there, so join up. We got Tiger Woods from Abu Dhabi. He hit a bunch of greens the first 3 rounds, was tied for the lead the last day. Didn't play very well. He only hit 2 fairways and 6 greens. Still managed to shoot 72, which is a good sign for his short game. So let's take a look. These swings are from, I think they're from Thursday, and as usual they look pretty good. I don't think we'll find much of a difference on Sunday, but we'll take a peek at that too. So the swing of choice now is going to be for Tiger as the hands are coming in and the club head is staying out. There's a little downward movement, slight drag of the grip, and the club face staying a little bit more on the tilted down side. I wouldn't call it closed, it's just a little bit more face down, not quite as toe up, which does help keep the club somewhat outside the hands going back. Tiger's trademark compression, still pretty much the same. See the right knee pretty much maintain its flex as he deepens. Let's take a look here. So been some activity on the web that's talking about right knee flex and how it's supposed to straighten some, which, you know, if it's 15-20% from where it started, that's not a bad idea. But you see a lot of guys that don't straighten the knee flex at all and still deepen the hip. These Morad guys, and not all of them, just whoever did that video, what they don't consider is how you can deepen the right hip without straightening the knee by pushing the waist backwards and lowering in the swing. So it's really the compression into the ground that allows you to move the entire right leg and glute back and not straighten the knee. Now a lot of guys lose a little bit of flex in the knee. Not too wise to straighten it too much. And the other thing that's not too wise, and I think this is what the guy was really talking about, is if you try too hard to keep the knee right where it is, you're going to over-restrict your backswing movement and cause all sorts of problems as far as your lower back and your hips go. So, but maintaining flex does not mean that the whole deal can't go backwards. So if you watched a lot of the videos that I've done as I draw the hip box, I always like the guys that push the right glute behind the box, as you see Tiger do there. And then if you draw a line on the top of the thigh, if that goes backwards, what you'll see also, what I would call symmetrical knee movement, is you'll see the right go back and the left go forward about the same amount. So you can draw here and here. I'm also a big fan of that.
Did a quick fix make your swing worse? Wayne Defrancesco will get your swing back on track at WDGLC.com.
Tiger's got one of the best backswings going. Now his right arm is, a little more what I would call in front of him or pinched. He doesn't really let it bend very much, but he's so strong that when it gets up here it doesn't reverse, meaning the elbow doesn't go backwards. So he'll just drive it back in front of him. Now, we've been talking about getting the grip end to go a little more out to get the arms in front of him and encourage general rotation and you can see the grip falling a little bit, and I think that what ends up happening now, that said, I think he hit 17, 13, and 16 greens the first 3 rounds before he hit 6 the last round. Now, anything could have happened. You know, he's still, I think, having those issues with, you know, the knees don't just go away. I'm sure it probably is painful. He just doesn't let it show. The better to avoid all those questions that, you know, really have no useful answer about what it feels like. Nobody cares to hear anybody complain. So he's a warrior. He just goes out and hits the thing. But certainly the old footwork is a little different. It's almost there, but not quite. Here we are on the left with an iron shot. You can see it's pretty mint up on top. I mean, how much better do you want to get there? The grip is definitely different. So here's a shot of his grip. See, this didn't used to really be here like this. So that's a lot stronger than it used to be. I bet it's neutral to me. You know, pretty even, maybe 2.5 knuckles, but certainly unlike the 1 knuckle that he went to with Hank. And the wrist on top looks a lot more neutral. This camera shot's kind of far away, so you can't really see it. But again, the grip descending just a little bit more than I think he would. You can see the rehearsals. I didn't really catch any of. They didn't really show many of those. But when he rehearses, he brings the hands way out, and when he swings, it's still kind of in there to drop a little too much. This particular swing looked pretty good. He is definitely not as open when he hits the ball, and you can see it's the hesitancy to pull that left foot back and really dig it back into that left hip and knee, have him popping a little bit, what I would call kind of out of the box right there. So if we took that and went back and compared it to what he was doing, say in 2000. So let's take a look at that here. So we'll go back. So here's 2000. Now definitely different takeaway, much more out in front of him, a little wider, definitely flatter, fuller. Now that's not to say that I think all those things are better, they're just different. And remember, he's a lot younger then, not as much bend overall. See quite a difference there. So the hands come in higher. Watch the feet now. Now watch the left. So when the left slides backwards, that was his move to get his hips around, take that high position and rotate it around. Now I'm not sure he can even do that anymore, but nevertheless, when he hit the ball, he's a lot more open than he is now. Now I think it's probably physical, but I think if he keeps working the grip out, that he can open up a little bit better. So let's go to a couple of swings that he made. You know, he's never hit in the fairway, so all these swings I have are out of the rough. So definitely you can see how the club is outside the hands and getting pretty vertical. Here he's mashing it out of the rough. You can still see squeezing the glutes. He's kind of evened up his head drop a little bit. You can see it go down and then down again. But I think overall, swing's coming along good. I think one of the things, oh, this is what I wanted to show you. He's got these, watch the right foot here. He's narrowed his stance quite a bit. He's wearing the shoes that are, more like tennis shoes, lower to the ground, but some odd foot action here. If I show you this, I'm going to just put a circle around it so you will focus on this. So watch what happens in transition. You're going to go from probably the inside of the foot over to the middle of the foot. Now the foot's going to twist. You can see the toe actually twist to the right. The weight move a little bit outside the foot, and then the heel lift, and then the right knee will drive inward and probably initially toward the ball and then inside the ball and then over into the left. You can see when his left foot lifts, I would say that the heaviness on the left is sort of in the middle of the foot. You can see the heel want to come up just a hair. Now way back when, his right foot really didn't have that instability in it, and when he went to the left, he got back to the heel a little bit better, and thus he got a little more open through impact. So I think that's something they probably would notice and look at. I don't think that's such a great idea to have that foot wandering around like that. But that said, that particular day he hit the ball great. And he putted well and got the ball up and down like, Tiger does. So he hits the ball pretty good, and he has a shot to win every tournament. So anyway, there's Tiger last week. I think they'll work on a couple things, and if he can put 4 rounds together, then there's very few people going to beat him.